have to swallow it.
It's too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here Matt with us. Let's find out what are his credentials and why he's here. Hi, Matt.
Hey, how are you today? Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good. Well, okay, so my name is Max Vitelli. I am the CEO of Phoenix Productions. Phoenix Productions is also part of the Phoenix Wrestling Federation, and we are launching our new network on Roku TV.
Wow. And how many visitors, views, like what's the magnitude of your production?
Well, right now we are shooting for on the Roku station. There are over 13 million subscribers. So once we are launching our network come October, we are going to be advertising. We're going to be putting ourselves out in front of 13 million viewers.
When you shoot wrestling, there are obviously certain special effects that needs to be taken in consideration. For example, a lot of light goes on the space and people with cameras stand further in distance. How do you make sure that they not burn in light?
Well, lighting is very important, especially depending upon the arena that you're using as well too. I've been in some very dimly lit arenas, and I've been in some very bright arenas as well too. But usually with my camera crew, we have anywhere between 3 to 4 lighting lamps. Because the arena is always provided with the top center lamp that just shines down on the ring. But then you've got to make sure, because the wrestlers and the performers,
they move fast.
They move very fast, exactly, and they're in every single corner. So you want to make sure that there's lighting on every corner.
Do you ever use a DSLR camera, or it has to be like regular video camera?
We actually use one HD camera, and the other 2 cameras for the different angles are 4K. So we're grabbing.
And you have it on switch ports, so all together goes in one. Or you do it in post-production?
We're actually in post-production, so it's all on the 3 different cameras, and I have an editor who
show the live event. It has to be post-produced. You're not having a switcher who camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Sometimes you're not in that level.
No, we're usually not at that kind of. We're not at that scale of a production.
Would you be interested in producing maybe a live event with the YouTube Red?
That would be great.
So people can watch as it's taking place.
I think that would be awesome.
It's a little bit more production.
It would be a small production, of course, and like I said, we're just like starting out, like right at the
Mr. Great team and. Your team can put together.
We could have Mr. Great and Sean behind, and Mr. Max with Mr. Great. That would absolutely work out. I think that would work out great. It all really depends upon the location that we're using.
Okay.
Some buildings are Wi-Fi capability, and we can do the live YouTube Red. Some places aren't.
Still, the cables work, and there are ways to do those things.
If you could find a way to do those, that would be fantastic. That would be great. No, I would love to have you on it for something like that. That would be fantastic. Yes.
What are the tips for the folks when they come to watch the wrestling and they sit with their phone and they do live Facebook or whatever they do, and it's so far in the distance and you can barely see what's going on? It's really important to bring fans, I believe, to see the live event, because if you're coming in before it starts, right? You're showing where are you? Your friends see that. Oh my God, he's there, right there. Let me buy a ticket, and they can just still come in. Right? But if the picture coming out not crystal clear and not nicely to watch, they might say, you know what, I'll pass.
See, one of the things, I'm glad you brought this up, because one of the things that a lot of the independent wrestling companies make a mistake of is they have the fans come in with their cell phones and they do the Facebook Live. What we're going to be incorporating, and believe me, I've got the security guys to back it up as well too, is we're going to incorporate that we have a no cell phone policy rule. Because what happens is, I'll tell you what happens, just the smallest bit or the smallest farce or something accidental can get on Facebook Live, and then all of a sudden it's all over social media, and then all of a sudden I'm a promoter who doesn't incorporate safety, I'm a promoter who has untrained workers, I'm a promoter who doesn't, and so what
like us here at Chelsea Market, you want to control the content.
Everybody would say I'm a control freak. That's not true, but anyway, I'm a bit of a control freak, yeah. But no, that's one of the things you want to really be careful, because in this business, if you were to take, for example, how many independent wrestling companies there are in the tri-state area alone, tens of maybe even hundreds all over the place.
Right.
And but one of the reasons why they are not as successful is because their whole main thing is just the ticket sales and the people showing up. Okay, our main thing is we want to get this talent, this raw talent out everywhere.
Question you.
Sure.
How do they get those people to buy tickets? What's the secret to sell instead of $30 to $100 or $2,000 tickets? How do they get those?
What usually happens is an independent wrestling organization, they get what's called a name in the sports entertainment industry. Like
It goes by brand?
It goes by
Who's
brand.
Stronger brand?
It's not really who's stronger. It's more like who's made a name in the wrestling industry. Like if you could book Scott Hall, who used to be Razor Ramon. You could book Kevin Nash, who used to be Diesel. But if you have a name on the card, that's what drives the ticket sales up.
What if you don't have a name on the card? How do you sell ticket then?
You take a page out of the book of what Impact Wrestling did, which is what we're doing as well as too. And what we do is we don't charge for our tickets. We just have the crowd show up at our events.
And how do you make money then?
Well, here's
Food, drinks?
well, the concession is one, but the second thing is we're not trying to get a bunch of ticket sales and say, hey, we had a great show. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build an audience that's nationwide. So by getting the content out there, now we're not targeting just the people who are coming to that
How do
area.
you pay for the space, the security? Everybody has to get paid. So
We
you
have a
have
performance.
sponsors?
We have sponsors that we have a fashion sponsor that is coming in to help us out. We actually have a transportation company that is sponsoring us as well too. You have the way to pay for these events, for these productions, is to get the sponsors. And this is what a lot of these independent promotions do. They make these mistakes and think it's like, hey, I'll depend upon my workers to sell tickets. Hey, I'll depend upon the local guys to pay for us. There's only so many Joe Pizzerias you can get as sponsors.
Right.
You have to go with the national sponsors. You can get a credit agency. Okay, a company that.
What's the secret to getting those agencies? When I talk to Coca-Cola or I talk to major Bacardi or whatever the company, they want to see first the numbers. So it's like chicken and the egg. First they want to see you having 50, 100 million views, and then they give you the money. And you cannot have the that kind of numbers until you have those sponsors. So, like, do you go for little sponsors, smaller firms, or
You can go for the you can
go.
go for the smaller firms first. That's what you should do. I mean, the ones that aren't. You don't go for the Bacardis or the Milky Ways. You go for the ABC Energy bars, or you go for the vodka companies, supplement companies, or vodka companies, or energy drink companies. So that's what you go for. But once you get the content that is out there and it's being marketed, you have to have also a marketing team behind you. Now, I've got over 30 years of sales experience under my belt, so yeah, I'm pounding the phones myself, getting sponsors. But I have a fantastic girl who's now out in Las Vegas. Her name is Haley, okay, and she is my EVP of marketing, and she's helping me get the national sponsors as well too. So you have to have a marketing team behind you, all with the same goal to say, hey, you know what? These sponsors, you want to be out there. You want us to get your name out there. This is what we're offering. This is what we're doing. And when we tell everybody,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the person to talk to. If you want to learn more about this, I would love to talk to Matt, but we have more amazing guests for you.
sure.
So continue to tune in. I hope Matt will come next time for the next shoot.
I would love to
We
come back.
have,
That would be great.
On 29th, our next production. So tune in on 29, and hopefully you will see Matt again. And if you have questions for Matt, we are welcome for your comments and questions, and hopefully on next Monday you can answer a few more.
Great. That would be great. Thank you.
Cut.